The Middle East is shaped by fierce rivalries, none more consequential than Iran and Israel. Both nations are military heavyweights, but their conflict has always been indirect, fought through proxies, cyber attacks, and covert operations. Understanding their military balance is key to grasping the region's security dynamics. Their rivalry drives alliances, arms races, and the risk of wider war. This analysis compares their military strengths and weaknesses: ground forces, air power, naval assets, missile programs, cyber operations, and nuclear capabilities. Iran, a populous nation, relies on mass and asymmetric warfare, using unconventional tactics to offset technological inferiority. Its large army is bolstered by the powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, and a vast arsenal of missiles and drones. Iran's influence stretches across the region through allied militant groups, from Lebanon to Yemen. Israel, by contrast, is small but technologically advanced. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, are among the world's best trained, focusing on intelligence, air dominance, and precision strikes. Israel's multi-layered missile defense shields its cities from rocket and missile attacks. It is widely believed to possess nuclear weapons, providing the ultimate deterrent. Israel's special forces and cyber units are world-class, enabling deep operations in hostile territory. The two countries' approaches reflect their unique circumstances. Iran's strategy is about endurance and attrition. Israel's about speed and precision. Their rivalry is not just military, it's ideological and geopolitical, shaping the entire region. The tools and strategies each side wields are a product of decades of preparation and adaptation. The stakes are high. Their shadow war could erupt into open conflict with global consequences. This overview will clarify the military realities behind the headlines. The question isn't who would win, but how their strengths and vulnerabilities shape the balance of power. Let's examine how these two adversaries prepare for a conflict that everyone hopes never comes. Iran's military doctrine is shaped by its history, geography, and years of sanctions. The Iran-Iraq War taught Tehran the value of strategic depth and asymmetric tactics. Sanctions forced Iran to build its own defense industry and unique approach to warfare. Iran's core strategy: make any attack so costly that adversaries hesitate. It avoids direct competition in tanks or jets, instead exploiting enemy vulnerabilities. Swarms of fast attack craft, a vast missile and drone arsenal, and proxy forces like Hezbollah are central to its playbook. Iran's dual military structure, the Artesh and the IRGC, provides both conventional mass and ideological zeal. The IRGC, better funded and equipped, controls missiles and regional proxies. Iran's doctrine is patient, methodical, and focused on the long game. It builds capabilities over decades, aiming to wear down adversaries through constant, low-level conflict. The goal: exhaust enemy political will and resources, not win quick victories. Iran's large population and strategic patience underpin its approach. Its proxies open multiple fronts, stretching enemy resources and complicating any response. This strategy of attrition is designed to outlast, not outgun, its foes. Iran's challenge to the regional order is persistent and calculated. It's a contest of endurance, not just firepower. Iran's ground forces are large, over 500,000 active personnel, plus the basage reserves. Much of their equipment is outdated, a mix of pre-1979 American Soviet-era and domestic hardware. The IRGC is better trained and equipped than the regular Artesh, focusing on internal security and expeditionary missions. Combat experience in Syria and Iraq has sharpened their unconventional warfare skills. Iran's navy is split. The Artesh operates larger ships in open waters, while the IRGC navy dominates the Persian Gulf with swarms of fast, armed speedboats. Their naval strategy is classic asymmetry, using mines, anti-ship missiles, and swarm tactics to threaten the Strait of Hormuz. The goal isn't to defeat a major navy outright, but to deny access and threaten global oil flows. This gives Iran powerful leverage over the world economy. The Persian Gulf becomes a dangerous zone for any adversary. Iran's strength lies in making the cost of conflict unacceptably high. Its layered, unconventional approach turns geography into a weapon. The threat to close Hormuz is a potent deterrent in itself. Iran's air force is its weakest link. Aging American, Russian, and Chinese jets kept flying by ingenuity, not technology. To compensate, Iran has built the region's largest missile and drone arsenal. Ballistic missiles like the Shahab-3 and Sejil can reach Israel and US bases. Newer solid-fuel missiles are more accurate and harder to intercept. Iran's drone program is increasingly sophisticated, producing cheap swarming attack UAVs like the Shahed 136. The strategy overwhelms enemy air defenses with massed missile and drone strikes. This long-range reach compensates for weak air power. Iran's nuclear program remains the region's most contentious issue. While Iran claims peaceful intent, it now has enough enriched uranium for several bombs if it chooses. The prospect of a nuclear-armed Iran is Israel's top security concern. Missiles, drones, and nuclear ambiguity form the backbone of Iran's deterrence. Israel's military doctrine is shaped by its small size and hostile neighborhood. It cannot afford drawn-out wars, so it prioritizes deterrence, early warning, and swift decisive action. The qualitative military edge is central. Technology and training over numbers. Israel acquires top-tier U.S. hardware and develops its own advanced systems. Companies like Elbit, Rafael, and IAI are global leaders in military tech. Intelligence is paramount. Mossad and Amman provide real-time data for preemptive precision strikes. The IDF's approach is proactive, disrupt threats before they materialize. Preemptive strikes, like those on nuclear sites in Iraq and Syria, are part of its doctrine. Israel's campaign against Iranian weapons transfers in Syria is ongoing. The focus is on surgical operations to minimize collateral damage and achieve clear objectives. Israel's strategy is to stay one step ahead, using speed and precision as force multipliers. Its proactive posture is a defining feature of its security. The goal: prevent threats from ever reaching Israeli soil. The IDF is small but highly professional, with rapid mobilization through conscription and reserves. Within 72 hours, Israel can field a large, well-trained force. Training is rigorous, emphasizing adaptability and initiative. The Merkava tank and Namr APC showcase Israeli innovation. Protection and survivability are top priorities. The trophy system intercepts incoming anti-tank missiles, keeping crews safe. Special forces units like Sayeret Matkal and Shayetet 13 are elite, handling intelligence, counter-terrorism, and deep strikes. These units give Israel flexible, surgical options below the threshold of full-scale war. Years of counterinsurgency have raised questions about readiness for large-scale state conflict. Modern threats, precision missiles and drone swarms, force constant adaptation. The IDF trains for high-intensity war, but the battlefield is evolving. Israel's edge is in technology, training, and rapid response. Its challenge: staying ahead of new threats in a changing region. The Israeli Air Force, IAF, is the backbone of Israel's military power. It fields advanced U.S. jets, F-15S, F-16S, and stealthy F-35S, giving it unmatched reach and survivability. Precision-guided munitions allow for accurate, low-risk strikes. Support aircraft, tankers, EW planes, and drones enable long-range, complex operations. Air superiority is essential to Israel's strategy. To counter missile threats, Israel built a multi-layered air defense Iron Dome for short-range rockets, David's Sling for medium threats, and Arrow 2/3 for long-range ballistic missiles. Iron Dome's high success rate has saved countless lives. Arrow 3 can intercept missiles in space, targeting threats like Iran's long-range arsenal. This network provides unmatched protection, but no system is foolproof. A massive, coordinated missile and drone attack could overwhelm even Israel's defenses. The IAF's edge is in speed, precision, and integration. Its challenge: defending against saturation attacks in a future conflict. Israel's air shield is formidable, but the threat is evolving. Iran's strength is in numbers, strategic depth, and asymmetric tactics. Its missile and drone arsenal can strike anywhere in the Middle East, deterring adversaries despite outdated conventional forces. Proxy groups like Hezbollah extend Iran's reach, opening multiple fronts and stretching Israeli resources. But Iran's military hardware is mostly obsolete, and sanctions strain its economy. Internal dissent is a persistent vulnerability. Israel's advantage is its qualitative edge: advanced tech, dominant air force, elite intelligence, and motivated troops. Its multi-layered missile defense and U.S. alliance provide crucial security. The presumed nuclear arsenal is the ultimate deterrent. Israel's vulnerabilities: small size, dense population, and reliance on reserves. A multi-front war or saturation missile attack would test the IDF and society. High-tech defenses are expensive and finite. Israel can win battles, but lasting political victory against Iran's proxy network is elusive. The contest is as much about endurance and adaptation as firepower. A direct Iran-Israel war is avoided by both, but always a risk. Triggers could include an Israeli strike on Iran's nuclear sites, escalation with Hezbollah, or a miscalculation in Syria or the Gulf. Initial phases would see Iran launching mass missile and drone barrages at Israeli targets. Israel would respond with devastating airstrikes on Iran's nuclear and military infrastructure and economic infrastructure. Cyber attacks and naval clashes, especially around the Strait of Hormuz, would escalate the conflict. More likely is continued shadow war covert ops, cyber attacks, and proxy clashes. Each side seeks to degrade the other's capabilities without triggering all-out war. The risk of escalation is ever present. A single incident could spiral out of control. The rivalry drives instability across the Middle East and has global consequences. Open war would spike oil prices, destabilize markets, and could draw in the US and others. Managing this rivalry is a top global priority. The current balance is tense, a fragile deterrence that could shatter at any moment.